Hello, welcome to Unity with Pam. We are here on location at the Georgia Aquarium, and you're going to get a chance to go behind the scenes with Big Girl. You're going to get a chance to experience the dolphins. You're going to get a chance to experience the whale sharks. And also, you're going to get a chance to hear a little bit from Miss Bailey Abercrombie as she gives you a little bit of overview about the Georgia Aquarium. Make sure, stay tuned after this commercial break. The Georgia Aquarium, Unity with Pam.
Unity with Pam Willis Hovey is being brought to you by these sponsors.
When you've been hurt in an accident, it helps to have experienced and knowledgeable attorneys to help you in your time of need. For over 30 years, our office has been helping victims in auto and truck accidents or with work-related injuries. We resolve thousands of cases both in and out of court. So if you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault,
talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
Habla con Walt.
Talk to Walt.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
When Bill Larson's brakes started squeaking, when Pam Summers' check engine light went on, and before Tom headed out on vacation, it all came here. Midas. Total car care. Total customer care. That's the Midas touch.
Hello and welcome back to Unity. We are here on location at the Georgia Aquarium. And I'm telling you, if you're looking behind me, you'll see some wonderful dolphins. They're having fun with Big Girl. I have one of their trainers with me. Her name is Rachel. And I want to go ahead and say, welcome to Unity with Pam.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Well, you know, my viewers are looking at you and they're like, Rachel, we don't know anything about you. We don't know anything about Dolphin Training Girlfriend. Tell my viewers all about it.
Well, my name is Rachel Freeman. I'm one of the assistant supervisors here at the Georgia Aquarium. And dolphin training is like no other job that you might have quite in this world. It's a very rewarding job interacting with these dolphins right here. You see they're very cute, very playful, so it's probably one of the most rewarding jobs that you can have.
Well, one thing I asked while me and you were standing talking off camera, how long did it take you to do the training? What's the process, what you had to go through?
A lot of the trainers have 4-year degrees in psychology or biology. A lot of the training that we do here is hands-on for the shows and things like that. So it's a long process. I've been doing this for about 11 years now.
11 years now, and they are watching the dolphins. Tell my viewers, what are their experiences? They're looking at the dolphins having fun.
The dolphins right now are swimming around on their own time. If you can see them just past us, they're very curious and playful animals, so a lot of times you'll see them maybe interacting with each other, blowing bubbles, things like that. When there's guests standing at this exact window, sometimes they'll come down and they'll be following the guests around, seeing what they're doing, maybe making some vocalization sounds. They're always very curious as to what's going on around them.
Now, a lot of people like me was thinking that the dolphins make sounds through their mouths. Is that true or is that not true?
No, that's not true. The dolphins actually make their sounds from the blowhole that's located on top of their melon, or it's the top of their head. A lot of times you might see their mouths slightly open or moving, but the sounds actually are coming out of that blowhole.
Now, see, I would have never known that. I would have thought they respond just like we do. Now, a lot of times we think about animals, especially particularly dogs. Do dolphins respond to us calling them their names? Do they respond to you like that?
No, they don't respond to us calling their names. Sea lions can understand verbal things. Dolphins, the way we communicate them, everything is with hand signals. So if we're going to ask them to do something, we would just have a hand signal for it, and then they would respond in that manner.
Now, see, I didn't even know that. Now, I'm watching them. They're rolling around. Who teaches them, like, the different tricks and how they come to you, how they respond?
We actually teach them that, the different behaviors and things like that, so we can start training them at a very young age, maybe at about 6 to 8 months of age. You can start training an animal, and you would just basically take small steps called approximations, and it's just like teaching a child how to ride a bike. You have to teach them to crawl, then to walk, and then to ride a bike. So you can teach the dolphins in the same way, just very small steps, start basic, and then get a little bit farther along.
Now, do the dolphins have their own personalities?
Yes, they definitely have their own personalities. So dolphins, just like people, some of them learn quicker than others, and also they do have different personalities. So some will be more playful, more curious, some seem to enjoy different things, so it's very interesting to interact with each animal and see the different personalities and traits.
Now, one thing I was looking up on Google, and I was trying to find out about the dolphins' diets. How often do you feed them? How much does it take to feed them daily?
Bottlenose dolphins can eat anywhere, depending on their age and size, they can eat anywhere from a pound of fish a day to 60 pounds of fish a day. So we would basically monitor their diet. Here at the Georgia Aquarium, they eat 3 different types of fish: squid, herring, and capelin, and then they eat that all throughout the day. So you're going to space it out throughout the day for them to be eating.
Now, one thing I want to ask, I was looking where I was seeing they were babies. How do you feed them when they're babies?
When dolphins are babies, you have to first train them how to eat fish on their own. They'll still be nursing from their mother up to about 2 years, but they can start eating fish at about 6 to 8 months of age.
Now, one thing, I love something you said. When they're so little, they can grow so rapid. And you said you had a wonderful time just growing up with dolphins. What's that experience? Girl, you are glowing all over my camera. Tell people about that, because you tell you love what you do.
I do love what I do. I haven't been with these specific dolphins, any of them, since birth, but I have in past experiences seen bottlenose dolphins be born, and then you actually get to grow up with them, so 5 or 6 years later you're still interacting with the same animals. So it's very, very rewarding.
Well, you know, before we go to commercial break, and somebody is saying, Rachel, I'm listening to you, and I would love to pursue a career in what you're doing. Tell my viewers about that.
Okay. Well, if any of you are interested in being a dolphin trainer, it's very important to go to school, get a 4-year college degree in biology, zoology, or psychology, maybe some type of animal-related field, be scuba certified, be a strong swimmer, and be able to speak in front of the public.
One thing I want to ask you real quick. How long do you stay in the water with the dolphins? Big girl got to ask that. I don't know how to swim, but how long do you stay in the water with it?
We're in the water all day, starting from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. It just depends. We're in the water for 30 minutes at a time doing shows. We're wet all day, and we're in a wetsuit all day.
And it sounds like I said again, Rachel really loves what she does.
Yes, I love my job.
Isn't that a blessing? Well, we're going to commercial break, then we're coming back with more guests here at the Georgia Aquarium.
Unity with Pam Willis-Hovey is being brought to you by these sponsors.
Come on in to Sugar's for a sweet taste of Southern cooking. You will be taken back to Sunday dinner at Grandma's house with every bite. Daily specials serving fried chicken, collards, black-eyed peas, also melt-in-your-mouth cornbread. You will want to ask for seconds. Also try one of our homemade desserts. You will be in sweet, sweet heaven. Sugar's offers catering for all your corporate, church, and family gatherings. They will do all the work and save you all the trouble. Sugar's, a taste of Southern cooking.
Taylor Funeral Home, a live-in service for the living. It's a family affair. Our family serving yours. 1514 5th Avenue in Phoenix City, Alabama.
When you've been hurt in an accident, it helps to have experienced and knowledgeable attorneys to help you in your time of need. For over 30 years, our office has been helping victims in auto and truck accidents or with work-related injuries. We resolve thousands of cases both in and out of court. So if you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault,
Talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
habla con Walt.
Talk to Walt.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Why Chalmers?
We manage the details,
so that businesses don't have to. Our expert consultants understand the individual needs of all of our clients.
We're here for you.
It's great to have the business support of Chalmers. They handle my bookkeeping, payroll, and collections. Now I have more time to dedicate to my customers.
Your success is our success.
With affordable rates for payroll, bookkeeping, collection, and IT services, Chalmers can ease the stress of running a business.
Chalmers Support Services. What you can't do, we can.
Hello, this is Pastor Willis of the Move of God Ministry. We come to welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we're looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Hello and welcome back to a special edition of Unity. We are here on location at the Georgia Aquarium. We're at the Ocean Voyager at the top of it. And I have one of their wonderful people here that does wonderful things with the whale sharks. Her name is Kayla. And I want to go ahead and say welcome to Unity.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, you know, my viewers are looking at like, wow, big girl, you're in an oversized pool. So tell my viewers, what are they experiencing?
All right, so we're currently standing in front of Ocean Voyager. It's the single largest aquarium habitat in the world right now. We have 4 whale sharks and 4 manta rays, and this exhibit holds 6.3 million gallons. It's almost as long as a football field, and it's 30 feet deep at its deepest.
Now, how long have the whale sharks been around?
They've been around for millions of years.
Millions of years.
They were recently discovered in the early 1800s.
Wow, that's a long time. One thing I want to ask you too, Kayla, what's their lifespan?
Their lifespan is around 70 years, so it's not that far off of humans.
So they're kind of close to humans in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One thing I was asking you off camera, how often do you feed them? How much do you feed them? And what do you feed them?
Well, we feed the whale sharks twice a day, every day, and we feed them macroalgae, plankton, small fish, and small invertebrates. So we give our guys, we give them krill, cut up squid, small fish like silver sides, and they get about 20 pounds a day of food.
So you have to feed 20 pounds a day to the whale sharks. Yes. Is that each one that eats 20 pounds, or that's in total?
They each get 20 pounds, roughly 20 pounds total, and that's split up between 2 meals. So it's about 10 pounds in a bin twice a day.
That's a lot. Now,
It
how
sure
do you
is.
get the whale sharks to respond to you?
All right, well, we actually go out onto the exhibit on boats, and we hook our boats onto these lines that are suspended over the exhibit, and we pull ourselves in these boats on these lines, and each whale shark has their own ladle and their own boat to go to, so they know when it's feeding time when we get in the boats and we get on the exhibit, and they'll go to their station and we feed them with ladles.
So now, how did you get them trained to know that this boat goes to this whale shark? How did they not get it crossed up?
Lots of training. You just have to use positive reinforcement, and you know, you don't feed them when they go to the wrong boat, and when they get to the right one, that's when they get fed, and they eventually figure it out.
That sounds good. Now, one thing I forgot to ask you, Kayla. How did you get into doing this?
I actually got into biology in general thanks to my biology teacher in high school, Mrs. Scher. She's what got me into marine biology. I actually took the last marine biology class in the state of Georgia, and she just inspired me, and I just went on to college and got a biology degree and came back up here.
Kayla, I want to ask you, what has been your most rewarding experience working with the whale sharks?
The most rewarding experience for me is just how amazing this exhibit is and how amazing these sharks are. They respond to you, and you kind of have these relationships with them, and it's the only place in the Western Hemisphere where you can interact with these animals outside of the ocean.
Now, how do the whale sharks interact with the other animals?
They're gentle giants. They just go along their way, and they just try to stay out of everyone's way, and they do their own thing.
Well, one thing I want to ask you, they're known as the filter feeder.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get that title?
They got that title because they don't actually chew on their prey. They just suck it in. They open their mouths real large and they suck in all the water and they filter out all the food that they want.
So that's how they do it, is blow it out.
Yep. They suck in all the water with all the food in it and they filter out the food and they get rid of the water.
I got to ask you one question. When you first started working with the whale sharks, were you nervous about anything, or you just comfortable right off the bat?
You know, there's always your hesitation getting around animals larger than you, but when you have the nickname Gentle Giants, there was really not much to be nervous about.
Well, you know, if we're looking at the camera and somebody, like I asked another lady, I said, if you want to do a job or a career in this, what would you say to a young person who want to follow behind you?
My best advice would be to start volunteering, get involved, come in as much as you can, make connections, and enjoy your time.
Well, I want to tell you, Kayla, thank you so much for coming to Unity with Pam. We're going to commercial break, and we're coming back with more guests here at the Georgia Aquarium.
Unity with Pam Willis Hovey is being brought to you by these sponsors.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
You love your parents, and it's hard to see them struggle to keep their independence. Magnolia Manor can give your parents the assistance they need to enjoy life. You won't have to worry if they are eating well or taking their medications properly. And they'll be in a safe, secure environment with no need to worry about cleaning house or doing yard work. Visit magnoliamanor.com to learn more. Magnolia Manor, just down the road. A community of convenience, caring, and fun.
My name is Japal. 2 years ago, I received a kidney transplant. When I was 21 years old, I started dialysis, and for 7.5 years, I was a patient receiving treatments 3 times a week for 4 hours each session, and man, it was hard. After receiving my kidney transplant, I was able to find and marry the love of my life. My kidney transplant gave me my life back.
You have the power to donate life. Be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. To find out how, go today to donatelifegeorgia.org.
When Bill Larson's brakes started squeaking. When Pam Summers' check engine light went on. And before Tom headed out on vacation. They all came here. Midas. Total car care. Total customer care. That's the Midas touch.
Enrichment Services is giving a young child in our community a head start on kindergarten. Enrichment Services is providing a nutritious meal for senior citizens. Enrichment Services, a host of educational and assistance programs to benefit all ages.
Hello and welcome back to a special edition of Unity. We are here on location at the Georgia Aquarium, and we have the wonderful Bailey Abercrombie, who is our public relations coordinator. I want to go ahead and say, welcome to Unity.
Why, thank you. Thank you for coming out here today.
Well, tell my viewers, they're looking at you and they're saying, Bailey, we've seen all kinds of people, but people don't know what a public relations person does, a PR person does.
Right.
Tell my viewers about that.
Well, it's really an awesome job to be the public relations coordinator of the Georgia Aquarium. What I kind of do is I facilitate media requests. So some people like yourselves, like to come to film at our beautiful facility. So I make sure that their visit, is seamless and they get all the interviews that they would like, and also kind of, branding at the same time, making sure our logo are in the shots and stuff like that. And I also do media outreach to our international markets.
Oh, wonderful. Now, how did you get into doing public relations?
Well, I was just, you know, in school and college, I found the field that I was really interested in. I'm a people person, and I love to, you know, meet new people, so I thought the public relations would be a great field to do so. And I went to college and got my degree, and also when I got my degree, it was a requirement to have an internship. So I interned at the Georgia Aquarium about 2 years ago as a public relations intern, and I had a great experience here, and I was lucky enough that they asked me back to join them as a full-time member of the team.
Now, what's it been like having to train to work at the Georgia Aquarium, to learn your job? What was it like for you?
Well, it's definitely an awesome job to learn. You know, we have mandatory kind of classes, if you will, to make sure we know all the galleries and know, you know, when we're talking that we know what we have in the aquarium. So we do gallery training. We have a specialist who is trained to teach us about our exhibits, about the animals, you know, how they came here to be. So it was, yeah, a good experience. Learned a lot. I have much to learn, but I've learned more than when I first started.
Now, how long did it take you to learn the galleries?
Oh, I think I'm still learning. You know, I don't fully know every animal that's in this exhibit behind us at the moment, but, you know, I'm still willing to learn.
You know, it takes time. I look at me being a pastor's daughter and doing TV. It's a different transition.
Yes.
It takes time.
Yes.
7 years, I'm still learning. And I'm looking at all these wonderful fish. And you want to tell my viewers a couple of them that you do know?
Sure. I actually know the marquee animals of this exhibit. We're looking at Ocean Voyager behind me, and we have 4 whale sharks, which is our marquee animal. They're the largest fish in the world, and we're lucky enough to have them here in Atlanta, Georgia. And also we have 4 manta rays, which is my favorite species in this exhibit behind us. They're the largest ray, and we have 1 that's rescued from South Africa named Nandi, and 3 also just Atlantic manta rays. So very exciting.
Well, it sounds like you know what you're talking about.
I kind of do.
You can tell. I said, she just
Thank
said,
you.
You know what you're talking about.
Thank you, Pam.
So, you know, when you took us around and the different ways we went behind the scenes,
Yes.
and what are some of the things that my viewers didn't see?
Oh, well, that's a great question. You know, we have a world-class veterinary services lab downstairs that, and you know, you guys weren't able to see it during this visit. Perhaps you guys can come back and check that out. But we have a state-of-the-art medical facility, you know, ready just in case one of our animals needs an operation or, you know, needs care. And also our own water quality lab and blood testing lab downstairs. So we have a huge vet services suite that you did not get to see.
Now, one thing I saw on the website, they have it where you can touch some of the animals.
Yeah, we have a variety of interactive programs. Actually, one of them is involved here in our Ocean Voyager gallery. You can actually swim with these magnificent animals. It's called Journey with the Gentle Giants, and our guests have the opportunity to swim, or if they're dive certified, they can actually dive in this exhibit. It's about a 2.5-hour experience. It's marvelous. I've done the swim myself as an intern, you know, and you just get to be as if you were one of these animals and kind of get to know them in their habitat.
So you, wait a minute, you mean to tell Big Girl that you can actually put on a suit?
A wetsuit.
As long as you're certified now, because I can't swim.
Well, you can swim as well. If you're not dive certified, then we offer a swim program, which just means you're a surface swim on top of the water.
I said, if you can swim, that's what I said. She said certified. Big Girl can't swim, so I can certifiably look into it.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
yes.
okay,
Yes.
all right. Now, how long, you said somebody can swim for about, is it 2 hours, is it?
Well, the whole experience, you know, we have a safety class beforehand and a demonstration. The whole experience in general is 2.5 hours. In the water, it's about 30 to 35 minutes in the water.
So how long did you stay in the water?
I stuck with the program. I wish I could have stayed in longer, but I stuck with the program.
So what was your experience like? You're swimming with the animals. Is it something you ever did before?
No, I have never done that before.
Well, tell my viewers what it was like.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You know, I was able to put on a wetsuit, and I had my own little oxygen tank and get to be one of these animals, and it's beautiful. The whale sharks actually stay on top of the water most of the time of the water column, and so when you're surface swimming, they just come right out from under you, and it's just, you know, a breathtaking experience. You realize the massive size of these whale sharks.
Oh, awesome.
In the water.
Now, also, if somebody's thinking about getting married, or if you have a family reunion, field trip, how can they do that here?
Well, we have a beautiful event facility called our Oceans Ballroom. It's about 6,400
Square feet?
Square feet, thank you. That is the word, 6,400 square feet of flexible space. So we have, we're in the Indian room now, is what we call this room, or we have this Pacific, Arctic, and Atlantic room. And it's just a beautiful facility to get married with these animals as your backdrop, or any luncheon or event that you might have. And also we have an in-house catering, Wolfgang Puck, as our caterer. So excellent food.
Well, I was talking to you on the phone, and one thing I wanted to ask you, you have large families coming out. Money is tough.
Right.
And they're saying, Bailey, I'm looking at this. How can I afford to bring my family to the Georgia Aquarium?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we face that with most of our guests. But in January 2012, we recently launched our Total Ticket, which is an all-inclusive ticket that includes admission to all 6 galleries, including our Dolphin Tail show, which used to be an add-on, but now it's under this one low price. And also guests can experience our 4D theater as well as our traveling exhibit, Frogs, a Chorus of Color.
Well, one thing I want to ask you real quick. You talked about the Dolphin Tail show. That's new.
Yes.
Last time I taped the show, that was not here. Tell them about that real quick.
Yeah, we opened our Dolphin Tail show last April 2011, and it was our largest expansion to date. It was about $10 million worth of money invested into that expansion, and we house 11 Atlantic bottlenose dolphins, and we also have a large performance show called AT&T Dolphin Tales with the Star Spinner, so guests can kind of immerse themselves in this Broadway-style show.
Well, Miss Bailey, I want to thank you so much for coming to Unity. Big Girl's going to come back and talk a little bit about the Georgia Aquarium.
Unity with Pam Willis Hovey is being brought to you by these sponsors.
Hello, this is Pastor Willis of the Move of God Ministry. We come to welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we're looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
My name is Japal. 2 years ago, I received a kidney transplant. When I was 21 years old, I started dialysis, and for 7.5 years, I was a patient receiving treatments 3 times a week for 4 hours each session, and man, it was hard. After receiving my kidney transplant, I was able to find and marry the love of my life. My kidney transplant gave me my life back.
You have the power to donate life. Be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. To find out how, go today to donatelifegeorgia.org.
Hello, welcome back to Unity with Pam. I hope you've enjoyed my TV show. We've been here on location at the Georgia Aquarium, and we're also closing our last segment with the beluga whales. And we hope that you will come to the Georgia Aquarium, enjoy it with Big Girl. I've had a wonderful time. I enjoyed Miss Bailey bringing us here to the Georgia Aquarium, and always show love in the community.